The trouble began shortly after Jonathan Beilstein shared a ride on this lawnmower.
Jonathan was involved in a lawnmower accident. Being 2½, he didn't understand the scope of a lawnmower yet, and he wanted to get back on the lawnmower, and the lawnmower didn't get shut off quickly enough, and he walked up to the lawnmower, and that's what happened to him. It was very devastating. It was horribly devastating. It was kind of a rip your heart out and stomp on it kind of moment.
Part of his left foot was amputated, and the stump of that foot would need special care, especially once he was using his brace.
And because of how the brace is made, his foot can sweat sometimes. So I knew that I needed to find him a sock that would wick away the moisture from his foot.
She called Thorlo. Susan Graham answered the phone.
And I said, "What's your question?" She said, "Do your socks wick?" And I said, "Yes, they do." And I went on to explain how. And I said, what's happening here? And she said, "Well, I've called 2 companies. You're the second one. The first one didn't call me back. I'm sorry. But anyhow, I'm sorry. I'm a mother and a grandmother, so this little boy didn't have he had no socks to wear with his foot. He had the shoe, but the socks, he needed to have the socks."
It's an experience like I would have never in a million years thought I would have had. I call and she answers the phone. Lovely woman, polite woman, and I start to tell her my story, and she about breaks down into tears, hearing the entire story of Jonathan and the situation I'm in. We got to a point where her and I were both crying on the phone. She felt sorry for Jonathan, she felt sorry for me, and she just assured me that Thorlo was going to do everything they could do to help Jonathan and me in this situation.
As soon as we hear stories like that, particularly when it involves children, we immediately go into action to do what we can to help that child, because we know we can do it. We know we can do it better than anybody else, and we have to help that child.
Of course, we didn't have a product that fit him, you know, without us doing some modifications to the product itself.
The process took months. The craftsmen at Thorlo re-engineered a machine and tinkered with the settings. They sent samples back and forth to the family. They wouldn't give up.
One of the engineers would go out, design a sock, bring it back in. We'd take a look at it. Let's move this here. Wow, that's going to be a different change. Well, let's get rid of this toe pocket because we don't need that. And let's see if we can make this sock, you know, grasp his foot just like that. So after many iterations, they came up with a product that allowed this young man to wear his prosthesis and allow him to live his life just like a normal little boy. Unbelievable.
Susan Graham personally oversaw the shipment.
When the socks showed up and I had no bill in there, I called her and I said, "We got the socks, but there's no bill." And she says, the owner of the company doesn't want to be charged. He doesn't want to charge you for them. He is a gift to Jonathan.
The fit is so good, in fact, that today it's virtually impossible to notice anything different about Jonathan. He's an active little boy, fully engaged, without any physical limitations.
It was just a special calling because everybody had been young at one time and wanted to play sports and wanted this young man to do the best he could.
You know, I have children myself, and I would want somebody to do that for my children. You know, just a small thing for me, small thing for Thorlo to do, to be able to enhance this little boy's life.